Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade
Shade
and the
in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and today we are here to do the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, season 8, episode 16, Boiling Point. Um, Real cute episode. Kind of felt like it was a filler. And I'm really embarrassed that Charisse does it being from, maybe that's how Potomac does it, but being, in Maryland doesn't know how to do crabs. I was very shocked and embarrassed
Was
for
she the
her.
one that made him, or did she have somebody make him?
That if she had somebody make them, that's even worse. If she paid somebody to do that. But yeah, y'all. So we'll jump right into it. If you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And yes, please make sure y'all hit that subscribe. We got 250 to go before we get to 1,000. So I would appreciate it greatly if y'all can, just get us over that threshold. That would make me very happy. I would love y'all forever. Mean it. So anyway, y'all. But yeah, let's jump into it and let's get shady. All right, y'all. So we pick up this episode. Candace going to visit Kiana at her wellness spa to get some laser hair removal in places I didn't think we needed
Of
to
the
be that up
JJ.
close.
The
But
vagine.
the vagine. Now Wendy is going to join her later on, and Candace actually talks about not having the excuse. Well, basically, Chris is happy because she doesn't have an excuse of not being waxed to not have sex with her husband. And I was like,
Why does that matter?
well, why does it matter? But it's also weird because I don't think they've been married for that long either. For her to already be avoiding sex with her husband. Or
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure he's not like, oh, you know what? You're right. It's not wax. I don't want to go down there.
right. But that's what I'm saying. So the fact that she's using that as excuse to me is more alarming than anything. I don't know if I would have said that on TV. Especially, what after what happened last season and the rumors, even though they might have been false or alleged, the rumors that came out over the summertime and whatnot. I don't know if you want to be around here telling everybody you ain't giving nothing to your husband. Because anyway, so
Because it will.
Wendy,
He'll definitely easily be able to get it somewhere else.
okay, and he know how to cook. You better stop playing with him. So Wendy gets her underarms done, and Kierna asks about her show and what's going on with that. So Wendy admits that it's been difficult for her to find guests because a lot of her connections are in LA, and she ain't trying to fly nobody over. And then all of her connects on the East Coast, they're all basically contracted to major networks. So Candace tells Kierna that she's, very proud of how she dealt with all the ladies in the group on a group trip or whatever. And Kierna admits she was disappointed that Giselle had to, be the one to come check on her because she was basically really going through it. And Wendy doesn't apologize, which I was like, Wendy, that would have been a perfect moment. But, basically lets her know that wasn't their intention to basically ignore her. But I was like, okay, it might not have been your intention, but that's why you should have apologized because that's what happened. Just my thoughts.
To me, that goes back to what we were reviewing yesterday. It's yeah, it wasn't your intention, and maybe you don't feel like that's what happened. It does.
Right,
What matters is how she felt about it, how she received it.
right. Well, we already got comments under that video. People are already disagreeing with that. But anyway, so Kierna,
That's
Kierna
why it's an
brings
unpopular opinion. I'm cool with it.
Kierna brings up the issue between Robin and Candace and says she thought, that Candace loved Robin, and Candace brings up, Robin using the word defamation and says, she can think of a lot of things Robin has said that would be defamation. And so Wendy is like, oh, well, what? And then she's like, well, I'm not going to share. She's just going to keep that in her little box. So Wendy questions where, and then, Wendy questions where Robin got her law degree from to be out here yelling out defamation. And I said, well, if it was going to be anybody to call out for it, might as well be Wendy.
I actually thought that uh never mind. I don't want to give her no props. Moving on. So over at Giselle's house. Grace is all packed
Jizzy.
up. Huh?
Jizzy.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I don't know. I just rather call her Jizzy. It sounds
Well, is
Jizzle, my nizzle. I mean, I don't.
is this a nickname?
Yeah.
Maybe not this generation, but I mean, do you remember what Jizz was back in when we was growing up?
No, it doesn't. It's not. But now that I'm sure it's something bad. But I mean, Giselle ain't always great either. So I don't know if the name fits. But I'm just saying.
Um, it's white and it doesn't go in Oreos. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. It's not
oh,
that
well,
cream
my
filling.
apologies, Giselle.
It's not that cream filling, okay?
I don't think I realized that.
All right, so yeah, so Grace, she's all packed up for school. Everybody's saying their goodbyes. They're kind of taking a walk down memory lane, and I thought it was super cute. This is really clearly hard on Giselle. I think she's really trying to take Karen's advice and not show her emotion, and just kind of let her enjoy her moment. At one point, Grace actually told her while they were getting in the car, like, "Boo, it's okay to cry." Like, you
Shit,
know,
I cried.
you say you cried.
And I mean, really, let's just be real. I mean, that's the only time I really like seeing her is with her kids. So yeah, that touched my heart. I was like, oh, Grace is leaving because that. I mean, if that didn't solidify, unless they was gonna wait for them twins to get out the house, what else is Giselle gonna do on the show?
Cause more mess, stir more pots.
No, her storyline. We're not talking about anybody else's. We're talking about her
Oh,
storyline.
like her personal.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably get that little boy and more involved.
No, no, they already broke up. That's not even a thing. That wasn't even a thing when it was a thing. They probably dated for all of 6 months. I'm sorry, allegedly, maybe 9, but
Oh,
I don't think they made it a year.
okay. Well,
And I mean, it's he can't. Not trying to be shady, but this is not a Drea situation. He can't. He's young. She's not having any more kids. I don't know if she wants to be married again, but she really had nothing to offer him. So again, it clearly was a just fun relationship. It was never, in my opinion, she couldn't have thought it was going to be serious.
for shizzle, my jizzle.
Right.
So then Grace basically said that, she learned a lot from her mom. She learned that it's possible to, raise your kids on your own, basically do your own thing, have a side hustle. And she wouldn't change anything from her past 18 years. Giselle let her know that she had no idea what she was going to do when she got old enough to do it, but she is proud of the woman she has become.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, she was definitely holding back the tears. Holding back. Yeah.
I understand. Again, I was crying. I ain't even gonna try to lie to y'all. You would have thought I knew them. So Charisse comes over to visit Robin and Ashley. Or I'm saying go visit Robin and Ashley isn't too far behind.
So is this Robin? Is this the new house?
Yes, Robin's house is beautiful. That's what it says in my notes.
It is beautiful. I mean, we didn't even see the whole house. I remember seeing part of it on social media, but the way it's even decorated, she did that.
What they say, Robin, you did all this? Yes, she did all that, y'all.
She did that. She clearly didn't take any pointers from her bestie, Jizzy.
Then Ashley talks about needing a massage, and so Sharice shares that she had a guy coming out to her house. Sharice said once the massage was done, he asked her if she wanted a vaginal massage, right? Then they rolled the tape back when Ashley
I wonder if
insinuated,
that's inside or out.
I don't know. I'll let you know after the appointment. Uh, so
I started to say you wasn't curious.
I'll let you know after the appointment. Um, so Ashley insinuated that, we saw her say that Sharice may be paying for the deed earlier in the season. And,
This kind of only reiterates that. This
it does. But she said all old women do that, whether it be the pool boy, whether it be, Vernon for Karen, everybody doing that. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
this definitely feeds into that narrative.
Right. So basically, Ashley shares about Karen working out with Vernon Davis, and Robin explains how Karen went off on her for questioning her as to why she chose him. And Charisse plans to, she lets the ladies know she's hosting this crab boil, and says she plans to invite Jacquelyn, and is hopeful that Mia doesn't feel slighted in any way, but says she likes Jacquelyn and hopes that they can resolve their issues. And then Robin asks whether she plans to invite Candace, and she does. It doesn't even mind Karen being there, even though she knows Karen ain't gonna come because Karen don't like you, and neither do in the words of our good friend T, giving y'all the real was giving you the real tea. If y'all don't go follow him, y'all should. But Dejanay is not it. I love when he calls her that. It's great.
What is what's Karen's sign again? Do you remember?
Um, I don't.
For
I
some reason,
don't.
I feel like she's a Taurus or something. I don't remember.
I could see it. I could see that.
Ike and NECA, they're discussing their IUI process. Apparently, they're doing some
She is a
follicle
Taurus.
counting. Huh?
She is a Taurus.
Oh, she's a Taurus. Okay.
Hmm.
I think I felt like I remembered the whole Earth sign thing when they were separated in the vehicles. I just couldn't
Right.
remember
Yeah.
which one. Now apparently, yes, they're doing some follicle counting, and the next step is insemination. So we are well on our way to being preggers, apparently. Now she said that she's sure her community will have opinions that she didn't conceive naturally, but she doesn't care. If she got the resources, she said, "I am for damn sure going to use them." And I know that's right. Now Giselle went over to go see Karen. She said that Karen has been super duper supportive. Okay. Um, and she's gone through this before. She's taken her child to college. But she does feel like, girl, if you're gonna support me, at least you can do is not, give me some slice and bake cookies. You could bake me some from scratch. I feel like it's the thought that counts, Giselle.
A lot of people had something to say about the cookies not being from scratch, and I was just looking. I was like, "Don't come over my house then,
Who
because
got who got time for that?
if you think
And,
I'm about to
and
be
you want
sitting
me to
up here,
mess up my whole kitchen with all this flour and butter and all types of what we're not about to do. And guess what? It's probably cheaper. It's what, $2, $3 to buy the damn thing. Instead of buy all these ingredients to make you a batch of cookies and take all that time.
right?
We working smarter, not harder. That's out the question. But what Karen did do, and I thought was amazing, because I love this liquor here. Okay, she pulled out the 1942. Okay, she said she got the remedy for empty nester. I said, is that what it is? Because I love me some 1942.
I don't know what that is, but
It's tequila.
uh,
The bottle of tequila she pulled out. That's Let me say, I could drink that. I mean, like, I don't do
I thought
shots.
she was pulling out a bottle of champagne that just happened to be from
No,
her.
no, no. That's tequila, girl. I don't do shots, but I can do shots of those.
Mm,
That
gotcha.
shit, it's smooth. Okay. Now Karen told her that she looks good. Her inner thighs look good. But really, girl, how are you feeling? Because you just look pitiful. I said, didn't you just tell the girl she looked good? What is happening here? What is happening? Karen basically told the
I think
girl,
it's from a place of love. I think that they've been close enough and have gone back and forth that like only Karen could, maybe Robin could have said it to her, but Robin would never dare. But I feel like they're at a place where because I feel like if it was reversed, she would have said the same thing to Karen.
I think they can understand each other's humor
Right, right.
and understand when it's not. Now Karen basically told her, girl, I never saw your nose swell before. Okay, I could really tell you was going through it. I'm like, goodness, okay. Giselle told her that, you know what, girl, they're more like, what will make me feel better? Okay. If you went to this event hosted by Charisse, okay, she having a crab boil, girl, and she
So why you
promises
can
to
see us fuss?
huh?
That so you can see us fuss. That would make
Exactly. Get more ratings. Make sure we here next year.
right.
So she promises to keep her away from the crabs. Karen said, yeah, it's a no for me. I don't really even need to ponder on this invite, but I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Giselle thought she was definitely going to change her mind when she let her know that there was drama coming to the party. Okay. She said, girl, Miss Jacquelyn is coming. Karen was like, yeah, you know, I wish you luck. She's like, no, I'm still not going. I thought
Right.
it was funny though that
And
she did.
she's like, I'm good. Me and Jacqueline are friends. Basically, I don't need to go to Charisse's to see Jacqueline.
She is a hell no.
Right.
It is a hell no for her. You know what though? Even after they're falling out, the fact that Charisse, it's like they know that they don't like each other, but Charisse still kind of has the door open because she's like, I don't have a problem with her. She got a problem with me. And Karen is like, yeah, I don't even want to be in this woman's energy,
Well, because
in her
that,
space.
see, I really don't, I've never really seen it for Charisse.
Hmm.
Uh, and to me, Charisse is, I'm leaving the door. First of all, you're not on the show. So let's just be real. So I feel like you're leaving the door open because you kind of want to get back in good with the Grand Dame, right? And
So you can have a permanent spot, you think? And Karen is not letting it happen.
happen.
Oh, that is some earth sign shit.
Hmm.
That is some. She's like, I know what you want, and I ain't gonna give it to you, but you can't get this
It
in
doesn't
your
remind
space.
you of another tourist female who got
Mm.
somebody booted off a show that ain't been back since.
We see you, Karen. We see you. We see how you moving out here.
Mhm. She said,
You ducking this girl like the Matrix.
look, I want to say she learned from Candy, but maybe Candy learned from her. Anyway, so Robin arrives at Charisse's first, and Charisse shares. And first of all, Charisse's son is very handsome. Let me just say that. He's a very handsome guy.
The one with the
And
umbrella.
they're holding the
I
umbrellas.
thought it was really sweet that he took the umbrella out every time, one of them came out. Because at first, I think I didn't notice him at first. He was walking in with somebody, and I thought that they were
Together.
their guests. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I noticed, I'm like, oh. But then I think maybe it was Mia that said something about being her son or something like that. And I was like, oh,
But you
that's her
know what?
son.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That I might not see it for Charisse, but at least she's raising that young man right. Because the fact that he was out there doing it and not complaining and seemed like, yeah, let me walk. Because originally she said he was supposed to go pick him up in the golf cart and bring him to the joint. So I was like, okay, go ahead, Charisse. You gotta raise that boy right.
And then she had the daughters just sitting out there, staying away from the drama, and
Hmm.
yeah.
So yeah, so Robin arrives, and then Charisse shares basically because she's like, oh, Karen's not coming. And Charisse is like, she lying, right? Because she's been to crab boils previously. And then of course Bravo with their receipts, they gotta run the playback. And I was like, damn, Karen.
They
We
ran it
over
back twice. They ran it back twice. They,
I'm
they
like
ran it back when Giselle said it too.
I'm like, we over here lying about crab allergies. I mean seafood allergies, but okay. So
And in that one, they showed Ray there too.
right, right.
Maybe
Um
he just, I mean, maybe it's just as long as you don't eat it.
no, 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 no. That's not true.
Well, you can't be around it at all.
I've done it with somebody. I've made shrimp and crab in the house with somebody who I didn't know had a seafood allergy, and their face just started to get puffy. They started sneezing, and we couldn't figure out why until we learned, oh, they have a seafood allergy. You can't even, if depending on how severe it is, you can't even be in the room. Your throat will start to look like, yeah. It's almost, I think it's equivalent of almost having like a peanut allergy. You
Oh, okay.
So if that were true, Ray wouldn't even been able to be in the room.
So it's a lie.
Yeah, that was a big lie.
Okay, okay.
So then we see Candace arrive, and Robin was actually on her way to answer the door until she saw who it was. So she
I
decided.
thought that was hilarious. She said,
decided
"Nope, I'm not." She was like, "Nope, I ain't doing that."
she's like, nope, nope. So Charisse isn't really liking the fact that Candace and Robin are beefing, and thinks Candace is looking for reasons to not like
It's
Robin, and
definitely
she
clear.
feels
She's Team Robin.
right, and she feels like Robin has been nothing but a great friend to Candace, so she's not really understanding what her issue is. Now Jacqueline arrives and is welcomed by hugs by all the girls. Like, can we bring Jacqueline back?
You know what, Treese?
We need Jacqueline back.
Can I say this? So this whole time we've been talking about Jacqueline, and I I understood what happened between her and me and everything, but I think as far as faces go, I was getting her mixed up with Deborah
Not Big Bird.
because I was like, I don't understand why everybody's like so. 'Cause I was like, I thought they didn't like her. Yeah,
No,
I think I was getting her mixed up with Deborah.
not snuffleupagus. So anyway, then I didn't like Deborah when I first met her, and I still don't care for her. And we're gonna see her next episode. You know, it's gonna turn into Sesame Street. Anyway, so Jackie and Giselle are talking about Mia, and she's letting her know their last conversation was about 2 months ago, and it ended with "You are effing crazy." Now, shout out to Really B for dropping this tea on the Wyline panel last night. I was in their chat, and she actually dropped some information that I thought was like pretty hefty. So if y'all haven't already, please make sure y'all hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
So apparently, I'm gonna be on. If I were Jacqueline, we couldn't be friends again.
You and Mia?
Mia. Apparently, Mia went as far as I don't know what information she took up or exposed to Jacqueline's job about her. Um, but she lost her job because of it.
Is
And
this before or after this shindig?
no, I think it was before, like last season when they were, or whatever season, or season ago, or last season when they were going through it. And
Okay, so they're having this conversation after all of this went down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's why Jacqueline continues to say what you did was evil.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know exactly what she does, but I get the vibe that she's a contractor. She's a federal contractor, and whatever Mia went back and shared with them, it ended up this is again alleged. I'm just going off of what was. Where's my thing? Where's my thing when I need it? This is alleged and just our opinion, but good sources have said that that's the reason why why got so real. But that is evil. And I said honestly, the only reason I would ever be on this show again and even interact with you is because now you owe me a bag. If you've messed up my livelihood, now you owe me a bag. So
and you know what? No. You know what though?
I take that seriously because
I'm not even trying to be like it. I'm not even trying to make it like okay, but that could be why Mia said that she doesn't mind like the friends hitting her up or her still coming around or whatever, right, because she may know and feel like she does owe her that.
True, but if
I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm just saying.
Right. I just think that like I said, I'd like to see Jacqueline back on the show. I personally just like her personality, period. But after I learned that little piece of information, I was like, oh, like again, Nels understands. I come
from you're a bigger person than me.
Right. I come from a space of contractors, so I completely understand. And when I heard that, I said, oh, that's the foulest you can ever do. Yeah. If you're messing with somebody's security clearance or something, that is the foulest you could ever do to somebody. Real talk. So yeah, I wasn't here for that, and I thought that was interesting when I learned it. But go ahead. So Nneka shows up in her sash and crown from the DR trip. You look corny. If thirsty was a thing, is what my notes said. Nneka greets.
Oh my God.
Nneka greets Jackie and Charisse, and because I keep calling Jack, but Jacqueline, and Nneka and Jacqueline had some beef online after Nneka went and talked about her on a show. They was online on Twitter.
Why was Nneka talking about her on the show?
Remember, she was like, oh, and she spilled all the beans and was saying all these things about Mia, and I had only sat down and known her for 2 minutes. So when her and Charisse and Nneka got together. That's what I thought was so crazy, because I was like, so y'all talked about it at the table here and it was nothing. And then when it aired, for whatever reason, it caused some friction because her and Jacqueline was going at it. Anyway, so Charisse tells a story about introducing Nneka and Jackie. Jacqueline says she's not, and then they talk about Mia. Jackie says she's not holding anything against Mia because she doesn't want to reciprocate her evil. Now, I will say that Jacqueline's energy when Mia wasn't there was on 10. Was like, yeah, and Mia this, and she was, doing all the neck rolls and everything, and she was like, yeah, Mia ain't right. And then Mia walks in and everything goes quiet. And then Jacqueline all of a sudden, and granted, they've been friends for a long time, but I can't see literally pivoting that quickly. And maybe it's like an editing thing, but I can't see pivoting that quickly from I literally 5-10 minutes earlier was throwing all types of dirt on your name. And maybe I have a right to do so, but then turn around and be like, okay, girl, let's go downstairs to talk about. Like I just don't see that happening. I might need a minute or a day or two.
A minute or there too. I wanted to address basically the elephant in the room, and told Mia, girl, I spoke to you and asked you what's up with you and Jacqueline. You told me that y'all were good, but now today y'all ain't. What's up? So Mia said, there's things that need to be discussed that really doesn't involve anyone at this table, and everybody respected it. So Charisse walked the ladies downstairs so they could speak privately. Now, while the ladies are upstairs, they're basically talking mess, slam cold shit, okay, about Charisse's crabs, talking about how they from New Hampshire. These ain't no Baltimore crabs, okay, because they need some spice in their life.
And can I just say, shout out to Ashley for knowing that they needed Old Bay. That just goes to show Ashley's in touch with her black side. She is. It don't matter how many YT folks she messed with. She's in touch. But there was a big debate yesterday, or from a few people. Some people were like, "No, you use crab seasoning," and I was like, "Well, I've always known to use Old Bay," but some people were like, "No, you still need crab seasoning." And don't get me lying, because I don't season the crabs when we do it at my house, so I didn't go sit here and front like I do. I just know it's
Well,
always
this is the reason for the eye roll. Okay, now
shut
downstairs,
up.
Mia starts off the conversation and tells Jacqueline that she was going through a lot mentally, and she just didn't have anything to give to anybody. And Jacqueline felt like, okay, boo, that's something you should have at least expressed to me. Okay. But instead, you continue to do these backhanded things behind my back. Mia said that, she wasn't the one that initiated. Okay. She was just responding. You was the one that said, I need more in my life. Jacqueline's like, girl, it was a joke. I need my life too. Okay. Like,
Right.
so
I
Mia
love
felt,
that. It was like,
Mia
girl,
felt some type, huh?
right. She was like, girl, get a grip. We all need more.
Exactly. And Mia felt some type of way. She's like, well, how do you think that sounds to like this old ass man that's married to this young tenderoni?
No, no, no. She said 70. No, she said 65
Yeah,
year
she said
old man.
60. Because she didn't know how old her husband was, I decided to just say old ass man.
And Jacqueline had to tell her, no, baby, Gordon is 72.
Old ass man.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I don't know why you don't know
No,
how
but
old
I
he
thought it
is.
was important because how do you not know the age? But you know what? I think she's lied so much about his age and her age that she don't really know she lies so much. I mean, I love Mia, but she lies so much. I think that at this point she starts to believe what she tells people.
Oh, everybody thinks that.
Right.
Everybody thinks that. So basically, she let her know that she's going to therapy, and all they really talk about is Jacqueline. Okay. And she has some major work to do when it comes to her. Jacqueline says that she thinks it's a situation that, happened when they were kids. Now, you know what, Teresa, I know that you told me about this, but I didn't realize it was when they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. I thought like this was like a young adult type of situation, that they kind of ended up in. I didn't know that this is when they were kids.
I feel
Um,
like she said it was, I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like she said they were in like their 19. I think they were young adults. I don't think it was like 15, 16, but I guess in our minds, we know we're still not grown at 18.
well, the fact it made me really think that they were kids also because like they said like they kept it a secret
Hmm.
and scared to get in trouble. So to
Well,
me, it
yeah,
made me
Jacqueline said she didn't even know until 2 years later.
exactly. But when Mia said that, it made me feel like definitely like kids and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
young adults. But basically, Mia agreed that that may have something to do with it. Jacqueline told her that all the
To your
situations that
point,
they've had, huh?
to your point, now that you say that and you're refreshing my memory, I do think that they were younger, much younger,
Hmm.
because I think that Mia said something about like, yeah, I was scared because basically they were out doing stuff they weren't supposed to be doing,
Hmm.
which makes me think they had curfews, they were still in their parents' house, whatever. So yes, to
Exactly.
your point, you're right. I do think they were much younger.
Exactly. So Jacqueline told her that, all the situations that they've had, and Mia was kind of coming at her sideways. She was like, girl, I gave you plenty of passes because of all the guilt I felt. And Mia agrees. She feels like, that maybe she has been harboring all these angry feelings toward her because of what she went through. And, she said that she's also really upset because they decided to keep it a secret so that they wouldn't get in trouble. Now, Jacqueline said that she didn't keep it a secret. Okay. She didn't find out until 2 years later. But she was like, that's something I would have never kept a secret ever. Okay. And this actually makes Mia feel a little bit, she feels grateful. She feels a little bit better about it that, she knows that her friend wasn't keeping it a secret. She didn't know about it. And, wouldn't keep it a secret. So they decided to, that they're off to a good start and they'll hug it out when they're ready. Apparently it ain't right now. They ain't
Mm-mm.
ready to hug it out just yet.
That's what I said. You can't go from just talking ish about me to now I'm ready to hug you. And again, learning what I learned just because we have a conversation. Nah, you need me to give me a whole new check.
I'm you know what though? I'm glad that Mia is in therapy for it because she probably really is harboring um and now that she knows, I guess that
Right.
her homegirl didn't know about it. I'm sure that does make her feel a little bit better, but I'm sure she was harboring some type of feelings like this happened to me, like, kind of because of you or whatever.
Right.
So I'm glad they did have the conversation though. And she's going to therapy for it.
Well, then we see Charisse. She wants to bring up the other elephant in the room between Candace and Robin not speaking. And she was hopeful that they would be on better terms after their trip to DR. Candace said she was made aware that Robin shared their personal and private text messages with a blogger in an effort to make her look crazy. Robin says it was to explain why they are not friends. We then hear Candace on a phone call in the confessional with someone spilling the tea about what Robin did. And Candace calls her a hypocrite, and Robin says she doesn't care. She's a
I was
hypocrite.
about to say Robin was giving, girl, I don't like you. I don't talk to you. You don't exist to me.
Mm. She feels she never disparaged Candace. Charisse thinks that Robin genuinely cared about Candace, and Candace has let social media take precedence over their, friendship. Then the ladies go back and forth. Charisse gets upset and starts shaking the table and asking the girls to stop, and says she's tired, and everybody's like, "Oh, she drunk." So then Giselle said, well, she said she's drunk. And then Candace goes to grab her triangle. And NECA, comes to check on her. And she apologizes to Charisse and says she's leaving. And then Robin says they don't ever need to speak again, and that's fine. And Charisse comes back and apologizes. And NECA brings up the fact that at least Jacquelyn and Mia were able to make some progress. And that's where we see the episode end.
That was pretty much it. That
Yeah.
was it.
So like I said, it was definitely, I feel like, a filler. Won't necessarily say it was bad, but um I think I'm with along with the rest of everybody who watches this show where I'm just ready to get to the reunion at this point. Um and so the fact that we have another episode, which obviously we see the infamous brawl go down. I think what is it between Kiana and Big Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait, Kiana. It was Kiana?
I thought it was Kiana that put her hand.
Oh. I just know it was her. I know it was Deborah. I didn't know who it was with though. They know each other?
No, Deborah showed up as Ashley's friend because they're shooting the launch for the line, the
Mm-hmm.
GNA next week. So, of course, she was going to invite her friend that nobody likes. And then, because you see, Candace pulled out a bottle and was ready to hit her when she attacked Kiana. Well, that's how I know it was Snuffleupagus. So, but yeah, y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what you thought about this episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you've hit that like button.
Make sure you comment
Make sure you subscribe.
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, the IG. I will be live tweeting on Thursday for Bold and the Bougie for those that watch. So yes, please do tune in to the tweet because I be having little smart things to say. You know what I'm saying?
Little Twitter fingers.
Right, my little Twitter fingers. But anyway, y'all, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night.